Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our English Learning Podcast. Today, we have a very interesting and practical topic. We are going to talk about something very simple but very powerful, and that is how to talk about your likes and dislikes in English.
Yes, because when you meet someone new, what do you usually talk about? You talk about what you like, your hobbies, your favorite food, movies, music, and also what you don't like. These small conversations help you connect with people.
Exactly. If you cannot express your likes and dislikes clearly, conversations become short and boring. But if you know the right sentences, the right expressions, and how to explain your feelings, then your English sounds natural and confident.
So, in this episode, we will not only tell you basic sentences like, I like pizza or I don't like coffee. We will go deeper. We will show you how to explain why you like something, how to sound more advanced, and how to keep the conversation going.
Let's start with the most basic structure. The easiest sentence is, I like, I love, I enjoy. For example, I like reading books. I love watching movies. I enjoy playing football. These are simple, correct, and perfect for beginners.
Yes, and if you want to sound a little more expressive, you can say, I really like, I absolutely love, I quite enjoy. For example, I really like classical music. I absolutely love traveling. I quite enjoy cooking in my free time. Adding words like really and absolutely makes your feelings stronger.
Now let's talk about dislikes. The simplest way is, I don't like, I dislike, I hate. For example, I don't like spicy food. I dislike waking up early. I hate traffic. But be careful with the word hate. It is very strong. Sometimes it sounds too negative.
Yes, especially in polite conversations, instead of saying I hate, you can say I'm not a big fan of, I'm not really into, it's not my favorite. For example, I'm not a big fan of horror movies. I'm not really into sports. Spicy food is not my favorite. These sentences sound softer and more polite.
Now communication is not only about speaking, it's also about asking questions. So how do you ask someone about their likes? You can say, what do you like to do in your free time? What kind of music do you like? Do you like traveling?
And for dislikes, is there anything you don't like? What kind of food don't you like? Are you into action movies? When you ask questions, the conversation becomes natural and interactive.
This is the most important part. Many learners stop at I like it, but if you want to sound fluent, you must explain why. For example, I like reading because it helps me relax. I love coffee because it gives me energy in the morning. I enjoy working out because it makes me feel healthy.
And for dislikes, I don't like crowded places because they make me anxious. I'm not really into fast food because it's unhealthy. I dislike horror movies because they scare me. When you add because, your sentence becomes complete and meaningful.
Let's make it more advanced. Instead of always saying I like, you can use different expressions. For example, I'm fond of, I'm interested in, I'm passionate about, I prefer.
Yes, for example, I'm fond of classical music. I'm interested in photography. I'm passionate about learning languages. I prefer tea over coffee. These expressions make you sound more natural and confident.
Another great way to speak fluently is by comparing. For example, I prefer watching movies at home rather than going to the cinema. I like summer, but I love winter. I enjoy tea, but I don't like coffee.
Comparisons make your English more interesting. They show that you can think and express opinions clearly.
Okay, Sarah, let's have a small, real conversation. What do you like to do in your free time?
I really enjoy reading novels and listening to podcasts. Reading helps me relax, and podcasts help me learn new things. What about you?
I'm really into traveling and photography. I love exploring new places because it gives me new experiences and memories.
That's interesting. Is there anything you don't like?
Yes, I'm not a big fan of crowded places. They make me feel uncomfortable.
I understand. I don't really like waking up early. I prefer working at night because I feel more productive.
Now it's your turn. Think about 3 things you like and 3 things you don't like. Try to say them in full sentences with reasons. For example, I love listening to music because it improves my mood. I don't like junk food because it's unhealthy.
Yes, and practice speaking out loud. Don't just read, speak. Record your voice. Listen to yourself. That's how you improve. Today, we learned how to talk about likes and dislikes using simple and advanced sentences, how to give reasons, how to ask questions, and how to sound more natural in conversations. And this is just the beginning.
So now that we've covered the basic and intermediate ways to talk about likes and dislikes, let's take this conversation to a deeper level. Because in real life, people don't just say what they like, they explain their experiences, their emotions, and sometimes even their stories behind those preferences.
Exactly. For example, instead of saying, I like music, you can say, I've always loved music since I was a child. It helps me escape from stress and makes me feel alive. Do you see the difference? The second sentence tells a story. It shows emotion.
That's a great point. Adding background makes your English sound natural and personal. Let's practice that. Instead of saying, I like traveling, you can say, I've always been passionate about traveling because it allows me to explore new cultures and meet different kinds of people. That sounds much more fluent.
Another interesting thing is that our likes and dislikes can change over time, and talking about that makes your conversation more mature. For example, I used to hate vegetables when I was a child, but now I actually enjoy eating healthy food. Or, I didn't like reading before, but recently I've started enjoying self-help books.
Yes, using phrases like I used to, I didn't used to, but now over time I've started to, these expressions show growth. They show development in your personality. For example, I used to be afraid of public speaking, but now I actually enjoy giving presentations. That's powerful English.
Let's talk about something important, the strength of your opinion. Sometimes you feel something strongly, and sometimes your feeling is mild. For strong likes, you can say, I absolutely love, I'm crazy about, I'm obsessed with. For example, I'm absolutely crazy about football. I'm obsessed with Korean dramas.
And for mild likes, you can say, I quite like, I kind of like, I don't mind. For example, I quite like tea. I don't mind working late sometimes. And that's very useful because in real conversations, not everything is extreme. Sometimes you are neutral.
Now, this is very important in professional or social situations. You don't always want to sound negative. Instead of saying, I hate your idea, you can say, I'm not sure if that's my preference. I'm not very comfortable with that option. I would prefer something different.
Yes, especially in the workplace. Imagine your boss suggests something and you say, I hate that. That's too direct. Instead, you can say, I understand the idea, but I think I would prefer a different approach. That shows respect and confidence at the same time.
Let's practice talking about hobbies in more detail. Ali, tell me about something you really enjoy.
Well, I'm really into photography. I love capturing moments, especially during sunsets. Photography allows me to express my creativity and see beauty in small things. It also helps me relax after a busy day.
That's a perfect answer. You didn't just say, I like photography. You explained what you like about it and how it makes you feel. Now let me try. I really enjoy cooking. For me, cooking is not just about making food, it's a creative process. I love experimenting with new recipes and trying different flavors. It makes me feel productive and happy.
That's excellent. You see, when you describe your feelings and experiences, your English becomes alive.
Let's move to daily life. For example, morning or night person. You can say, I'm definitely a morning person. I feel more energetic and focused in the early hours of the day. Or, I'm more of a night owl. I find it easier to concentrate at night when everything is quiet.
Or when talking about food, you can say, I prefer homemade food over fast food because it's healthier and tastes fresher. Or movies. I prefer watching movies at home rather than going to the cinema because it's more comfortable. Using prefer over and rather than makes your English more advanced.
When someone tells you their likes and dislikes, how do you respond? If you agree, you can say, "Me too. I feel the same way. I totally agree. That's exactly how I feel."
And if you disagree politely, you can say, "Really, I'm actually not a big fan of that. That's interesting, but I prefer something different. I see your points, but I don't enjoy it as much." For example, Sarah, "I love horror movies." "Really, I'm not a big fan of horror films. I prefer comedies because they help me relax." That's a respectful disagreement.
Your likes and dislikes also reflect your personality. For example, I enjoy spending time alone reading books. This might show that you are an introvert. Or, I love social gatherings and meeting new people. This might show that you are an extrovert.
Yes, and you can explain it like this. I think I enjoy quiet activities because I'm naturally a calm person. Or, I'm very adventurous, so I love trying new things and taking risks. That connects your preferences to your identity.
Let's imagine we just met at a party. Ellie, what kind of music do you like?
I'm really into soft rock and instrumental music. I find it calming and meaningful. What about you?
I'm really into soft rock and instrumental music too. I find it calming and meaningful. What about you?
Interesting. Is there any genre you don't like?
I'm not really into heavy metal. It's a bit too loud for me.
I understand. I'm not a big fan of country music. It's just not my style. See? That's a natural, flowing conversation.
Now, we want you to practice something more detailed. Don't just say, "I like movies." Instead, say, "I really enjoy watching movies, especially action and thriller films, because they keep me excited and entertained."
And for dislikes, instead of "I don't like rain," say "I don't really enjoy rainy weather because it makes me feel lazy and unmotivated." Add feelings, add reasons, add personality. That's how you move from basic English to confident English. And now, in the final part, we're going to bring everything together and help you speak about your likes and dislikes in a smooth, natural, and powerful way. So now we've talked about basic sentences, stronger expressions, polite disagreements, and even how your preferences connect to your personality. In this final part, let's focus on one very important thing: fluency. Because knowing vocabulary is one thing, but speaking naturally without stopping, that's the real goal.
Exactly. Many English learners know the sentences, but when someone asks them, "What do you like to do?" they freeze. Why? Because they start thinking too much about grammar. Instead, you should think about ideas. Speak first. Improve later.
Let's practice how to give a complete answer in 3 simple steps. Say what you like or dislike, give a reason, add extra detail or example. For example, I really enjoy working out because it helps me stay healthy and energetic. I usually go to the gym 5 times a week, and it has become an important part of my daily routine. See how that sounds? It's complete, it's confident, it's natural.
Let me try one. I'm not a big fan of junk food because it makes me feel tired and unhealthy. I prefer homemade meals since they are fresher and more nutritious. That's not complicated English. It's simple, but it flows smoothly.
Now let's transform short answers into better ones. Short answer: I like music. Better answer: I really enjoy listening to music, especially when I'm working or relaxing. It helps me concentrate and improves my mood. Short answer: I don't like mornings. Better answer: I'm not really a morning person. I find it difficult to wake up early, and I usually feel more productive at night.
Another advanced way to speak is connecting your likes to your future goals. For example, I'm passionate about technology, which is why I'm planning to build my career in software development. Or, I enjoy helping people, so I'm interested in working in the healthcare field. This makes your English sound meaningful and purposeful.
Let's quickly talk about mistakes. Don't say, I am like pizza. Say, I like pizza. Don't say, I very like music. Say, I really like music. Don't give one-word answers only. Always try to speak in full sentences.
Let's do one final smooth conversation that brings everything together.
Sarah, what are you passionate about?
I'm really passionate about learning new languages. I love discovering how different cultures express themselves. It's challenging, but it's also very rewarding. What about you?
I'm very interested in personal development. I enjoy reading books and listening to podcasts about productivity and mindset because they help me improve myself every day.
That's great. Is there anything you don't enjoy?
I'm not really into wasting time on social media. I prefer spending my free time doing something productive or meaningful.
I agree. I think our likes and dislikes say a lot about who we are.
Absolutely. They shape our habits, our lifestyle, and even our future.
Now it's your turn. Don't be afraid to talk about what you love and what you don't like. Your opinions matter.
Remember, fluency is not about using difficult words. It's about expressing your real thoughts clearly and confidently. Start with simple sentences, add reasons, add feelings, expand your answers. Practice every day.
And next time someone asks you, what do you like? Don't just say one word. Give a full answer. Share your personality.
Because English is not just a language, it's a way to express who you are.
Keep practicing
Keep speaking.
and keep growing.